A new week of betting is here, everybody. This is Pick and Roll, the NBA betting show powered by the Hammer Betting Network, featured on the Board NBA channels on Twitter and on YouTube. You can watch this show live every single weekday at 11:15 a.m. Eastern Time on at the Board NBA on Twitter and the Board NBA YouTube channel, as I mentioned. You can also check out Pick and Roll on Spotify and Apple Podcasts after the show is done. But like and retweet on Twitter, and make sure you've liked and subscribed on YouTube. And we are coming back here for some more betting action after a really, really good week last week. There was a bit of a slow start to the program for sure, but last week, 2 sweeps helped us go to 9-2. What a week. Pips, what was going on last week? The process just seemed to all come together. Can you maybe go through a little bit of that 9-2 record?
Yeah, we actually did great. I think we did great the week before, but we had just some unfortunate losses and everything came back. That's just the way it is in betting. You need the patience. You need to just keep doing what you think should work. We were getting amazing closing line value on almost every bet we made. So yeah, just things coming together.
Yeah, and people tailing the show, they had a great week. Shout out to the people watching on YouTube, interacting with the chat. Badger Boy, one of them, who managed to also get the sweep on that Friday, those Friday plays with us. That was very, very nice to see. But we don't want to. We're obviously not going to dwell on that too much. A whole other week and a whole other day today of betting. We want to continue to get some wins here for, I guess, ourselves and for also, of course, the people watching the show. We have 2 official plays for today. We wanted to make it 3. That's why we started a little bit late. We'll touch on the third one and why we couldn't. Pips wasn't able to find the right number for that one in just a second. But to lead off the discussion, we simply have to talk about Joel Embiid. Yesterday, he put up Wilt Chamberlain sort of numbers, and I do not say that lightly at all. He had 59 points, he had 8 assists, he had 11 rebounds, he was 19 for 28 from the field with only 1 3-pointer to go along with all of that, and he had 7 blocks. He was absolutely outstanding yesterday. And in the 2 days, it was a second night of a back-to-back as well. And in the 2 days combined, inside 24 hours, essentially, he had 101 points. Pips, you said you watched this game. What changed here for Joel Embiid? Because that is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And if you go back and watch every shot he made, those were not easy shots. He was hitting contested jump shots over and over and over again. He was 18 out of 23 for 2, and most of these were just like playing isolation and face up, shooting over guys, or pick and roll, pull up shooting from mid range. And it was just amazing to see, especially the last quarter where he had, I think, 5 blocks. He gave it on the other side too. It was a close game. He just didn't want to lose it and ruin his amazing night. And yeah, he seems like, which is amazing, that he's playing better without James Harden, which is not easy to digest because James is creating so many wide open shots, but he seems like he's just making tough shots now. And when he's playing next to James Harden, he's not doing great on wide open ones. So it could be just the variance, but it's certainly an interesting thing to notice.
Yeah, just absolutely willing the Sixers to 2 wins this weekend. He had 42 points on the Saturday in the win against the Hawks. Yesterday against the Jazz, who are a good team so far this season, especially. So, I'm not taking any stat line like that lightly, no matter who you're playing. But against a tough team in a game you only win by 7 as well, they needed basically every bit of what Joel Embiid gave them. And I think he just said, we're not losing this game. And he got the Sixers back to 500 now at 7-7. But another team sitting at a 500 record after a positive start to the season are the Toronto Raptors. Now, Pips, he was working on a same game parlay to add into the official plays for tonight. It would have included, I don't want to say the numbers because I don't want people to bet them because the numbers will be gone, but OG Anunoby and Scotty Barnes. We had a same game parlay involving those 2 players because Raptors will be without Siakam and Fred VanVleet for today's game. And it also now we found out right as the show was starting, Gary Trent was not going to be available. So the Raptors just lost back-to-back blowouts to the Thunder and the Pacers, and now they're playing the Pistons tonight in what should be a winnable game, but I'm not so sure after the release of Gary Trent's injury. So, Pips, obviously, I've watched the Raptors very intently the last couple of days, but what have you noticed about this team and how poorly they played in the last few games?
Yeah, you could say they played poorly because obviously they did, but they were missing Pascal Siakam, which is like their best player. So,
Mhm.
and they didn't have a long bench. I mean, they have Thaddeus Young and Otto
Otto
Porter
Porter,
back.
yeah.
Yeah, they have them back, and they're obviously nice role players, but missing Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet and now Gary Trent Jr. I mean, I don't think any team in the league can perform at the top level without three or four of their best players.
Mhm.
So yeah, the struggle is there. They obviously struggle with offense. All I mean, most of the games. I'm huge fan of Nick Nurse's defense, but I'm not never was a fan of his offense. And I saw your tweet about Scotty Barnes' struggles, and I
Yeah.
completely agree with it. But the thing with Barnes and the thing I noticed last season, they weren't running any set plays for him to get him into the good spots, to get him going to he was just like offensive rebounds, 1-2 post ups, 1-2 fade away, like isolation, and that's it. Like no set plays for a young rookie coming into this league. Like you are not making things easier for him,
Mhm.
and that was what I saw last season. And now when these guys are out, he should be the main guy and doing everything, and he's not ready for it yet.
Mhm.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, and that was probably something I didn't necessarily pick up on right away, but in discussions with people I was talking about on Twitter, talking about it on YouTube on my channel as well, with Scotty Barnes. Maybe this is a little bit more than he can chew at the moment. We've been up a little bit more than he can chew because it's just a little bit too much for him. He plays better with Siakam because he's more of an off-ball threat, and he just knows how to play off of the insane talent of Siakam. Right now, ask him to be the main guy. Maybe he's just not ready for it. But unfortunately, with these injuries and now Gary Trent also missing, that could the struggles could continue a little bit as he kind of gets adjusted to that. I don't know if this is wide knowledge around the NBA, but the Raptors, as good as they've been, cannot beat the Detroit Pistons when fully healthy. Last season, the Pistons had the season sweep over the Raptors. The season before, I also believe it was a season sweep by the Pistons over the Raptors. The season before that, so that would have been the year after the championship, I think we beat them once and they beat us the rest. So the Pistons, and particularly former head coach Dwayne Casey, have our number regardless of who's playing. And the fact that it's a lighter lineup has me a little bit worried for my Raptors going into tonight. But let's move into the picks that we actually have available to bet for tonight. And we have two official plays. They actually both come in the same game, and they involve the superstars on either end of the court. So first of all, we are going to go to the Atlanta side of things as they are visiting the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. And let's hear our first official bet for this one.
So the our official bet for this game is Trey Young to score over 26 and a half points, which is minus 111 at Caesars. So I expected this to be a little bit higher. I expected 27 and a half, and that's the number at FanDuel. But getting 26 and a half here, I think this close at 27 and a half for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, Trey Young in the last game against the Bucks, he scored 42 points, and he had a great game, but nothing amazing. I mean, when you look at 42 points, yeah, but it was easy for him because the big, but the Milwaukee Bucks are now the best defense in the league by far, and the reason for it is they have Brook Lopez back, but they made an amazing change that boosted their defense, and that's they stopped helping on the pick and roll players. So over the last couple of seasons, Bucks are always allowing the most corner threes and spot up shots. But this season they like decided to just stay on their guys and let people come at Brook Lopez. And so Trae Young as the main pick and roll scorer in the league, he'll
Hmm.
just he'll just go like I think he will get 30 shots because there is nothing to kick out. Like he can't pass to the guys in the corners because they are not open, because they are not helping. They just let him shoot like 30 floaters in this game. And without Drew Holiday, I don't think anyone can stop him getting easy looks. And as I said, they don't allow other guys to score. So it will be down to Trae Young to shoot 30 field goal attempts. And when he shoot 30 field goal attempts, this line is just way too low.
Yeah, yeah. I like the thoughts there, Trey Young. What I think my favorite thing about his game, there's so much to love, but the floater game, his ability to go by the first player and has a big approach to him, just float it over him, avoids the contact. He's obviously a small guy, avoids the contact, but still scores at a pretty efficient rate by doing that. That's why he can add on so many points to his numbers.
Yeah.
Really like the spot here, 26.5. You mentioned that you expect it to close at 27.5. I would share that expectation. Just want to say that we track all these plays publicly on the BetStamp app. You can search that app on the App Store or go to betstamp.app to find it. And in the Marketplace tab, you can find pick and roll to track all these plays. But also with BetStamp, you can use it to find really good value on player props like this. The expectation is that we will close this at 27.5. We have Caesars here at 26.5 minus 111. But as you see, FanDuel's at 27.5. Other books have this at 26, like PointsBet minus 140. So there's some really good value on this number at 26.5 if you get it early. So really like this play overall. Like at 26, I liked it, but when you also compare it to other lines, this is a great number. So as I said, we have to go to the other side of the superstar battle here, and we have Giannis. And this was a play you had last week. It's a same game parlay, same team against the Hawks. Same probably handicap going back to the well. It was just last week. It was a bit of a blowout from the Hawks without Trae Young over the Bucks. So revisiting this for the same reasons, I imagine.
Yeah. And also, so the bet is Giannis over 29.5 points and over 9.5 rebounds, which is minus 120 at FanDuel. And yeah, I think if the game stayed close, he will cover it in the last game too. He had 25 points and 7 assists and left the game with 7 minutes left, which is like for Giannis, he could score 10 points in 7 minutes. I
Yeah.
mean, without any problems. So 5 points were just pretty easily achievable. And 3 rebounds, it will be like, yeah, 50-50 for me. But in that game, Hawks just shoot amazing, and he didn't have any rebounds to get. I mean, some guys from the bench like AJ Griffin, young rookie, and just shoot like amazing. And
Mhm.
yeah, and he got like out rebounded by Congo like 3 times on the easy rebounds. He will just yeah, it was not something you will see often. Giannis had over 12 rebounds in like every game. He got 30 minutes this season, and the way Hawks are rebounding, I think he will get this line pretty easily. And no Drew Holiday. So points, getting his points at the same line without Drew Holiday, I think it's a huge thing, and Giannis should be very more aggressive tonight because Drew Holiday over the last couple of games was shooting like 20 times a game. So someone needs to take over these shots, and I don't think with Giannis back, Jaren Carter we shoot again like 20 a game
Yeah.
or something. Yeah. And yeah, that's it. I think this is if this game can stay close and it's projected to be close, I think both our guys clear this up pretty easily.
Yeah, it was a very weird game when the Hawks blew out the Bucks with no Trae Young available, but the handicap was strongly in that game that nobody on the Hawks can really guard Giannis. It's going to be a big collaborative effort, but I mean, every team tries to do that, and they still can't stop Giannis. So I like the play then. I like it now. I spoke about the Trae Young play as well. Really like both plays that we have here. We have, to recap, the official play number one is Trae Young over 26.5 points. You get that from minus 111 at Caesars. Go get that while you can, because we think that will change. Pick number two is Giannis Antetokounmpo over 29.5 points, and over 9.5 rebounds. That is a same game parlay available at -120 at FanDuel. But that has been your show for today. Reminder, this show goes live every single weekday, Monday through Friday at 11:15 a.m. Eastern Time on the Board NBA on Twitter, as well as the Board NBA YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel and you have liked it on there as well to help support the channel. You can find more from us. Pips likes to share some additional plays sometimes on his Twitter, so make sure you're following at PipsNBA on Twitter. There's some followers in chat who have liked what they've seen so far, like Jack over here. And also, you can follow me on Twitter for more Raptors and NBA discussion at Jacob Gramegna, and check out my YouTube channel, Amateur Sports, for more Raptors stuff. But make sure you also go into the Hammer Betting Network, thehammer.bet, and subscribe to the Hammer HQ for more sports betting content across all different sports. This is the Board NBA, which is just the NBA division, but we cover so many sports at the Hammer Betting Network. We'll be back tomorrow at 11:15 a.m. Eastern Time, and we very much hope to see you there, and we hope we're recapping a couple of winners.